Hello. Well, that's an impressive win. First legitimately impressive win of the season. It's weird because they've played 7 games and they've won 5 of them and got points in the other 2. By the way, that's not undefeated. I don't know what's going on with that. They lost twice. They lost to the Kings. They lost in overtime to Seattle. I don't know why we keep using the words undefeated. They're not undefeated. Nonetheless, they are playing great now. This game was terrific. Very, very impressive game, especially when you consider the fact that there's no Hannafin, there's no Stone, Hill's out for a good portion of the game. Like, didn't look good for a little while there. Is my audio messed up? Somebody's saying my audio's messed up. Oh, maybe. How's my audio now? All right, well, we'll try it now. Hopefully it sounds a little bit better. It was messed up. I had it on the wrong thing. I had it on the thing instead of the things. So we got it now. That's a good win. Like, that's a terrific win. And not only, like, the goalie change, that's a huge part of it, but, like, coming in to a game understanding that, like, this is the first team that's really going to be in your face. This is the first team that's going to really challenge you, especially in the defensive zone. And I think that's where, to me, we should start with what was so impressive in this game. Because I'll go through the 3 goals the Golden Knights got, and then they obviously get the empty netter. There's issues with all 3 of them, right? Like, there's some good things that happened in all 3 of them, but also there's quite a bit of good fortune in all 3 of them. But the bigger piece to me is the one on the scoreboard on the other side. Like, there were 4 power plays that Carolina had, and if I'm not mistaken, I guess 1 was shortened because the Golden Knights had one and then the hurdle penalty. But the other 3, one ends up being shortened, but that's because the Golden Knights caused it. Penalty kill to me was excellent. So there's a lot of penalty kill that has to go on. But the bigger piece is 5-on-5. Like, to have this game and have as strong of a game as they had at 5-on-5, despite missing the captain, missing Brett Howden, who is an important piece of having their depth. This is a team that when you play against them, you need to have pretty good depth. All of that put together, like, this is a really good win. Like, this is without question the most impressive win of the year. This is without question the first one that you can really start to feel like this is what the team can potentially be. Like, a lot of our issues, a lot of our concerns over the summer, I've told you, I think they're going to score goals, and they're still pushing for over 4 a game so far through 7 games. I think it's 30 in 7 games now, which is over 4 per game. The bigger issue I was concerned with was the other end. And we'll talk about the goalies and what happened with Hill and what's going on there, because that is going to be a significant piece of it, because now it does look like, at least for the short term, and good news, they have all the way until Saturday until they play again, but it is a Saturday and Sunday, so I would guess we probably see Schmid. We certainly will see him in one, and then we'll see the other one. Is it going to be Lindbaum? Do they go a different route? We will see, but the way they defended in their own zone in this game was very impressive. I thought the first, like, 4 or 5 shifts may not have even been that long. When was the first goal? 8 minutes. So, yeah, like, you're talking 4, 5, 6 minutes or so to begin the game. Like, I thought that speed of Carolina was up on them, was in their face, was, like, challenging to defend, right? And so you saw some issues along the boards. You saw some issues in not having the support that they need to have, which by that I just mean guys close to each other. Don't have guys way on the other side of the ice. Let's be close so that when they check the puck away, we're the next man in to pick it up and get going. And that's actually how we saw some of the early chances come to be, was that they're flying into a challenge. That player doesn't get through cleanly. So Golden Knights players coming out with the puck, they fly into this challenge, and all of a sudden, the next guy there is a Golden Knight. Now we've got 2 coming up. Their defenseman's heading the wrong way, and you get some of these odd man rushes, some of the open ice that we haven't necessarily seen much of this season. It's been better, certainly, in this building, as it usually is at the beginning of seasons. Usually teams aren't as buttoned up, and the Golden Knights are very good at taking advantage of that. But to see that in a game where the Golden Knights are creating that,
It's not just the other team fucking up that's allowing that to be the case. It's actually the Golden Knights making plays, being in the right position, having the right layers, understanding how to get into that challenge and lose it in a way that it gets a loose puck as opposed to just have it taken off of you, which is something that we've seen a bit in the past, especially in their own zone. No Hannafin, no problem. Like, that's a huge part of having this game go as well in the defensive zone. Like, there weren't the turnovers we had seen in the first couple of games. They were not handing opportunities out right in front of the slot. There was hardly ever a pass from one side of the ice to the other, including on the 5-on-4 situations where they're killing penalties. The majority of this game, Carolina did not look that dangerous, which is wild because the speed that they were playing at was excellent. They had a faster game than the Golden Knights did in this game. I don't think Carolina played a poor game at all. I just think the Golden Knights were a little bit better. And the little bit better, paired with some of the fortunate hops and some of the things that went the Golden Knights' way, ends up leading to a 4-1 victory at home, and the first time that Carolina's lost all season. So that, to me, is a huge part of saying, look, this is the way, like, this is the style of how this team needs to play to win in the moments against the best teams down the stretch. Like, today's game, whatever. We're going to forget about this game in a month or so. It's not going to be all that important. If we end up with this is Aiden Hill, a serious injury, then this game will be remembered for a long time. If he's out for the season or something, we don't know at this point. But other than that, we're not going to remember this particular game. However, what we do want to see is we do want this one to be part of a line of how they defend. How are they going to keep good teams out? And I actually think they didn't do as good of a job against Calgary in this, even in the home game. Win the game 6-1. Dominate the game, mainly because Calgary's defense is in shambles, complete disaster. Still trying to figure out why everyone thinks that the Golden Knights need more players from Calgary's defense on this team. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. We'll see if it ends up happening. Nonetheless, there were opportunities for Calgary. There were a couple of good saves that Hill made. There were a couple of times where they had good stick checks that broke things up, a couple of blocks in the low slot. Huberdeau was dangerous in that game. I don't know that I would say much of anyone was all that dangerous for Carolina in this game. Maybe a bit of Seth Jarvis had a couple of opportunities. I thought Keandre Miller played a pretty good game and had a couple of chances. There was one that I was a little bit concerned about. Puck got out to him. Schmid's not quite ready to go coming across yet. He's got a lot of net to shoot at, and he just missed it. That one goes in. It's 2-2. He ends up then falling down or whatever. I'll talk about that in his own end. Barbashev scores on him. But, like, this needs to be part of a group of games against good teams that we can say, look how they played against Carolina. Look how they played against X, Y, Z, F, G, whatever going forward. That's not the alphabet. You get my point, because I ran out of letters when I got to Z. I was trying to say more than that. This needs to be part of that. And to be able to do this without Noah Hannafin in the lineup, without Mark Stone in the lineup, who's a big part of helping you along the walls and helping some of those exits, with Brandon Saad in a situation that he has not been put in before, and he was excellent up there with Jack Eichel today, with Ivan Barbashev on the opposite side along the walls in his own end, Alex Holtz in the lineup, Cole Reinhart in the lineup, so there, because Howden's not in there. Like, as a whole, this is what it needs to look like. This is the Cassidy system doing the job against a very good team. It's October. We have to be careful about that. I want to keep stressing that because the games in October are very, very unimportant come mid-April when we start to say this is when it has to click in, this is when it has to be there. So it doesn't matter, but this is an example of what it can look like against a very good team. And then you have some of the offensive talent. Eichel was excellent again. Marner made a couple of good plays that helped them. I thought he was pretty good again. Saad was good. Pavel was good. The Carlson-Smith line, Holtz was all right, pretty good. I thought maybe his best game, but it's not saying a ton. Fourth line, not bad at keeping it down in their own end. Not great. Didn't have a ton of chances. But as a whole, like, there's enough talent, even without Mark Stone in the lineup, to be able to generate enough offense. Now, let me get to the 3 goals, and then I'll go to the goalies, and then I'll give you at some point, I'll give you a Jimmerson read. Get to the 3 goals, and this is why, I think the Golden Knights played a good game. I don't think they played a 4-1 game. I don't think they were way better than Carolina. I think this is game 1 of a series. I'm saying, we're still well up in the air here. And the reason is the first goal is an accident. Eichel shoots it in front. Now, it is a 2-on-1 or something of a 2-on-1. He ends up getting it pretty deep, so that play is somewhat defended. They poke it into their own goal. That's 3 goals out of 6 that Jack Eichel didn't mean to score, and he scored this season. So, that's probably going to slow down eventually. The second one, where'd my sheet go? Sorry, I dropped my sheet. I'm forgetting what order. Pavel's. Pavel's. So you've got what's basically a 2-on-2 through the neutral zone. Pavel and Marner coming through, and Marner just kind of shoots it into the guy's midsection, and the puck drops down at his feet right on Pavel's stick. Now, do not take away the fact that finish was gorgeous. Unreal, excellent finish for Pavel. The Forsberg-style goal, that was beautiful. Set it up so brilliantly, and then to execute it as he did, excellent. So no question about that. But the setup itself, it's a 2-on-2. That's not usually going to turn into a 1-on-0 break by shooting the puck into the other team across the blue line. The third one is Barbashev, which I'll put it this way. If the jerseys were flipped and the exact same thing occurred, if that's what we're looking at, and that was the goal to tie the game at 2, we're probably losing our mind that he slashed the defenseman down and then scored. Do I think it was an egregious penalty? I don't. I'm not even 100% sure his slash was the reason that K'Andre Miller fell. However, he slashed him, K'Andre Miller falls at the exact same time, and now the puck's in the back of the net on what's another 1-on-0. Probably going to be frustrated if you're Carolina. And then moments later, there's a slash to the hands that the Golden Knights get the call, and it's what's going on here? I understand, again, if it were flipped, if all of this occurred opposite, we would be sitting here saying the refs were a train wreck, they flew the game, what a disaster. I'm not actually sure that's the case, but that is kind of the perception of what happened. And realistically, K'Andre Miller does not fall down in that situation all that often. So the 3 goals, not necessarily all that replicable. But Eichel had a breakaway that he didn't score. Pavel had the opportunity on the back door that he didn't score. Korzak had a chance on the back door that Anderson made an awesome save on. There was enough there that I feel like I can sit here and say the Golden Knights were good offensively. They end up getting rewarded in different ways. But it has been quite a bit of luck early in the season outside of course, the next topic, which is injuries. But before I get into Aiden Hill's injury, let's tell you that this Periscope and all Periscopes are brought to you by the Jimmerson Law Firm. Jimmerson Law Firm is one of Las Vegas' preeminent law firms specializing in high-stakes business, civil, and family litigation. When winning matters, a lot of winning, seek out the Jimmerson Law Firm. So do that. Aiden Hill. I tweeted out both of the videos. You can go ahead and see those if you haven't. Keep watching this. Watch them later. I'll give you a little bit of a rundown. It appears to me like it's something from the push from one side to the other. Usually when that's the case. Now, initially, I thought maybe the puck got him. A couple of games ago, his mask comes off. He's going across. He does jumps up and then hits the ice and falls down real weird. Didn't look like he was that injured in the moment. Then all of a sudden he's out for the next period. And we're like, what the hell's going on? Then he's in practice the next day. I can tell you that one was a shot hard to a region that only men have. That's what happened on that one. It hurt because the cup is aimed down. He was standing up. The puck came at an angle that the cup doesn't block. Bad. How he stayed in the game after that occurred, I don't know. I know he went and had it checked out for a little while. That's got to be fun. Not really. But he was fine. This is not that. This is not a reoccurrence of that injury. I also do need to find out in the next couple of days, and I will try to ask this to Cassidy before we leave, if Stone's injury is the same wrist that he broke in Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final, and or the same wrist that was injured on the shot by Lazan, the shoot-in that caught him. We'll see what happens there. As for Hill, it was not the puck. The puck does not get to him. It gets deflected. It ends up going wide. It never got to him. So it's definitely not the vulcanized rubber disc being shot at 85 miles an hour towards him. It's not that. What it appears to be is something in the twist across. Now, his knee also goes down, so it's like probably something hip, groin, knee, something in that scenario. Now, those can be all over the board, right? Like this could be torn ACL out for the season. This could be torn meniscus out for 8 weeks, 10 weeks. This could be banged something on the ground real bad, not that big a deal, plays on Saturday. Like I think all of the options are open. I will tell you that when he got off the ice, now he was helped off the ice with by Whitecloud and Carlson. When he got to the bench, they then took him kind of down the couple of stairs before they got to the hallway. They were still in an area of the hallway. Now, luckily for me, I can see all the way down because my seat is like right over there. Like there. And I shoot right down the tunnel. So I can see right down the tunnel. They basically carried him down the tunnel. Like I don't think there was much weight at all on his lower body going down the tunnel. So usually on a Monday night, that occurs. Not much of an update after the game to say like, it was fine. We usually, sometimes we get that when things are not as bad. We did not get that tonight. Whether that means he doesn't go on this trip or if it means long-term or whatever, we will see. They are not practicing tomorrow, so don't tweet me tomorrow saying, is there an update on Aiden Hill? Because there is not an update on Aiden Hill because they're not practicing tomorrow, so therefore no one's speaking tomorrow, so therefore there will be no update on Aiden Hill tomorrow. The Golden Knights will get an update on Aiden Hill tomorrow. He will go in tomorrow and find out what's going on. We will not get said update. We will then get the update on Wednesday. I would imagine they practice at 11. We should get the update somewhere in the ballpark of noon to somewhere after that. So keep an eye on that. Beyond that, I would guess, based on what we saw, just a simple me deducting what's going to occur, I would guess he does not go on the trip. It's a 3-game trip, 4-game trip. I think it might be 3. It's definitely Florida and Tampa and then Carolina. So it's a 3-game trip before they go home. I would guess that he does not play. Akira would get 2 of those games, potentially all 3. It's a back-to-back in short turnaround. Not a bunch of travel there going from Miami up to Tampa. Could play both. I would guess Lindbaum gets the call and has the opportunity to make his NHL debut. I think it's his NHL debut. I don't think he's played yet. I'd have to see. Nonetheless, that's my guess. Which game they go which way? I would think that they will probably go the simple way and go Akira on Saturday, whoever else, probably Lindbaum on Sunday, Akira again, then on Tuesday. However, if it's me, I would consider flipping the first 2, fresh legs, 4 days off, playing a team that in theory shouldn't be as good as Tampa because of the injuries to Florida. I know, back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, been to 3 Cups of the Finals in a row. I get it, but I'd probably go that route. I guess there's a little bit more traffic in front potentially from Florida, so maybe you want Akira in that game. Either way, don't think it makes a huge difference. Going to have to play good. We know Stone's not going on the trip. Hannafin's a maybe, however, has not skated. He'd have to start skating certainly by tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday. He's got to skate at least in one of those practices to then have the opportunity. I would be surprised if he goes. Based on the fact that he has not skated. I would also be surprised if Howden does not play in all 3 games, or at the very least, I assume he's going to play in the first one, meaning he's going to return from the injury. I would think Reinhart would probably be the one that draws out, as Holtz has been better along the walls, better decision-making. Didn't really love the little 2-on-1 that he's in on goal and drops it between his legs and that gets broken up. Didn't love that one. But overall, not a bad game for him. So we'll see. But as a whole, let me take some of these. Could this be a Stanley Cup final matchup? Sure it could. Carolina seems to have problems scoring in the playoffs. Golden Knights, that's going to be a question. I'll tell you right now, I think they're going to go into the playoffs with one of the best scoring teams in the league. Like, I expect that to continue all season long. I've been saying that all year. And then we're going to just have to see, does it continue in the playoffs? And then how do the matchups work out? How healthy are they at the time? Because we're 7 games in, and we're down 4 players, like key players, right? Like, we're Stone's out, Hill's out, Hannafin, Howden. So it's like, how's it going to go? 82 games. Not a lot of travel has been involved so far. That usually tends to bring injuries. Playing different teams, more physical teams, non-Pacific teams usually tends to bring a little bit more, and it's already happening. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Could I see that as a cup final? Yes. And if it is, I like the Golden Knights' chances. I think this is a style, even though this is the first time the Golden Knights have won in 5 tries against Carolina. They lost their last 4. I think it's a good matchup, actually, for the Golden Knights. So I do feel like if we're signing up for that, I'd probably write it in pen. I'll take it. I'm fine. Now, granted, we're going to feel so differently about Carolina if they're in the final, because they will have won 12 playoff games. They'll have made it all the way through, and we'll be like, whoa, they figured it out, right? So we'll feel different. We'll also feel a lot different about the Golden Knights, right? They'll be one of the highest scoring teams in the regular season. Make it to the final. We're going to be like, wow, look how good this team is. We're going to feel pretty good about it. So I'd feel pretty solid about that. What else was there? There's something else up here. Let's talk. Here we go. Let's talk about amazing PK of Eichel and Marner, followed by Carlson and Smith. It's not even fair. Yeah, PK has been very good. At least it was today. Over the season, not great. It's getting better. I still personally would like to see less minutes on those top guys in the regular season. Like, in certain scenarios, fine. I don't mind seeing Eichel and Marner. I don't mind seeing Carlson and Smith. I'm probably cool with seeing because they're not on the first power play. But like, limiting some of those minutes over the course of the 82-game season, I think, is important. And I do think you're open to a little bit more danger on a penalty kill, having to block shots, than you are at 5-on-5. So to me, like, yeah, okay, I want to use them. They are very good at it. In the end, usually it comes down to the plays in front of the goal. It's usually the defensemen that are going to decide whether we score or not. Forwards can get forward and get, odd man rush chances. Eichel had the one opportunity today where he basically just punked him and then gets the chance going the other way. Did not score it, but had a second chance, almost went. Like, I would still prefer take some of those minutes off, understanding how many minutes are going to go on Eichel, how many minutes are going to go on Marner. Like, you don't need them all. They're clearly a good team. This is a good Golden Knights team again. Like, they're easily a playoff team. So the games in the regular season are not going to matter. Giving up a power play goal here or there because you're saving an extra 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, it could be more. There's 82 games. If there's a minute per game that we're taking off of Eichel and Marner, we're talking pushing almost 100 minutes of time we can get off their legs coming down to playoff time. Then in the playoffs, yes, go, fine. Whoever the best guys are, go. I'm good then. But for now, like, it's October. It's October 20th. I don't need 3 minutes of Marner shorthanded. Let's see what it ended up being. Marner shorthanded was 235 today. Eichel shorthanded 130. So, like, that's a lot. That's combined 4 minutes of shorthanded time between the two most important players on the team. You could argue Stone, which he gets a bunch of it too. Like, let Kolazar do it. When Howden comes back, let Howden do it. Sissons was brought here to do it. Saad can do it. So, yeah, like, that's where I'm at. In my opinion, is Jack Eichel good at hockey? Yeah, I'm going to go yeah. 16 points in, 17 points. They only have one. 16 points. 16 points in 7 games. Pretty good. Only 1 point today. What's he doing? It's embarrassing. Nonetheless, yeah, he's been awesome. And I think the bigger part of today's game, beyond anything else that occurred, like, and I'll talk about their penalty kill, and then I'll get out of here real quick. The Carolina penalty kill and the Golden Knights power play not doing as well, because it was pretty stark. But to be able to have one winger switch sides, Barbashev switching to the right-hand side, second time he's ever played there as a Golden Knight in over 200 games, and then having Saad, who really has not had a great start to the season, pop up onto that line and him pop a lot more than he has over the course of the first 7 or 6 games. That's all Eichel. That's Eichel doing that. That's Eichel dragging guys along. That's Hart Trophy stuff. Like, it's 7 games in. I'm not making a candidacy for him to win the Hart. If it would have got handed out today, he's got it. But I also think it's probably his 3rd Hart Trophy in his career if they were handed out after 7 games. They're not, right? So it's making teammates better, and I think he's doing a great job on that. Thoughts on Hertl so far this season? 5-on-5, I think there could be a little bit more. It's getting better. I do think he's facilitating a little bit more than I would like on that line with Marner and Dorofeev. Like, yes, he does need to facilitate to Dorofeev, but I think he can score as well. Power play, I think it took a minute. Thought the first couple of games weren't great. Now it's been good. Today, not as much withstanding. As for the penalty kill, so Stone's not there. The decision is made. Marner goes in Stone's spot. Theodore goes at the top. It's effectively a like for like. Theodore's similar to Marner at the top. Stone, not exactly similar to Marner. However, same curve of the stick. They're both right-handed. Same idea. Open up the defense. Have the opportunity to have 3 options. Jam play up the middle, into the bumper to Hertl, or across to Dorofeev, which has been so successful thus far this season. All 3 of those players are still available, moving Marner down to that spot. I thought he was fine. I thought he did the job pretty well, got the pass over. We feel a lot different about it if Freddie Anderson doesn't make that unbelievable save. Nonetheless, I do think it's important to note that playing against Carolina and their penalty kill is extremely different than playing against Calgary, Boston, Seattle, San Jose. It's way different. They are elite at it and have been for a long time. So when you say, well, now they have Theodore up there and now they're giving away some opportunities on the break, maybe Marner's better up there, that's not necessarily the case. If you play Carolina every single night, they're going to make some things happen on their penalty kill. It's excellent. It's excellent. And Anderson was very good on it too, which makes it even harder. I don't think we should judge the power play much, if at all, today. I thought even just the one chance that was good enough from Dorofeev. And Eichel had a couple on the entry that maybe he doesn't shoot. There was a one in the middle that I thought Hertl maybe missed the net. They had a couple of other opportunities. I thought it was good enough today to not worry about it against one of the better penalty kills in the league. Because I saw that, it's like, well, the power play went to shit because Stone's out. No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I thought it was good enough today. The entries, they're going to have to figure that one out. Hertl's got to stop taking the penalties and the interference at the blue line. That's got to stop because that just kills penalties in its tracks, and they're going to call it. They're looking for it. He's a big guy. They're going to see it. Got to be careful with that. Stop doing that. However, as a whole, I thought it was pretty good. And to be as good as it was against this team, now I understand they don't score the goal, but that's good. Special teams ends up being 0-0. Golden Knights win the game 4-1. Empty net. It's 3-1 at 5-on-5. That's pretty good. That's what you're looking for against a team like this. They're very good at 5-on-5. Sin Bingo is still open. We had our first bingo today. You can go to the site. If you go to the site, either if it's on a desktop computer or some sort of actual computer, it's on the right-hand side. There's a big Sin Bingo logo. If you're on the mobile site, you have to go all the way to the bottom, and there's a Sin Bingo logo. You just click on that, put your email in. I'll get you the card sometime tomorrow. We'll get caught up. We did have a bingo. If you get a bingo card, you still get everything that's already happened for this season, so you might already have a bingo. So do that. Shout out to Vegas Night and Day Heating and Cooling for sponsoring that. I also haven't told everyone that after home games, you can go to Giordano's. They're open until 2 a.m. And you get 20% off and free cheesy bread if you just tell them SinBin sent you here. So do that. A couple people do that. Looks good for me. Please do that. And you get pizza. And the tavern-style pizza is really, really, really good. It's very good. I'm going to get it again Sunday. I had it last week. I'm going again. We're going to have it for football. It's fantastic. Shout out to the Jimmerson Law Firm sponsoring this Periscope and all Periscopes. We're going to do a podcast tomorrow night, so it'll probably publish in the morning, sometime Wednesday. We'll have a story up tomorrow. It's looking good. Like, obviously, the injuries are important. I just hope that none of them are season-ending. It doesn't look that way, at least for Stone. Certainly, it's not for Howden. It certainly doesn't look that way for Stone. It doesn't look that way for Hannafin, so that's good. At this point, like, that's all I'm worried about avoiding. Like, obviously, if we were told it's 6 months, like, that's okay. But it doesn't look like that. Hill's a little worried. I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know what's going to come out of this one. So, again, Wednesday at like noonish is when we should get that information. Possible they skate at 11:30. Sometimes they do on off days. They're not going to Florida until Thursday. I don't know if they're going to skate on Thursday. I think they will before they leave, and then take the afternoon flight, get in at night, go to sleep, practice Friday or Saturday morning. They don't. Nah, it's a midday game, right? That's 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock here. So maybe they will. I would think they'd skate on Thursday too. So we should get a little bit more information before that trip. It's not going to be an easy trip. Especially with some of the injuries that are there. But they're playing great. Like, they're playing good hockey. First couple of games were not great. They kind of limped their way to those four games in the beginning. Calgary game, Boston game, kind of gave the Boston game away a little bit, but for the most part, pretty good. Then today, it's building. They're getting better. And today's game was good enough to say, like, that's it. Like, that's the style. That's what you're looking for. Team can score, team's defending. Doesn't matter who's in the goal, because as long as they get the job done, the guys in front of them will do the job, and the goalie just has to be all right. That's what we got today. Schmidt didn't do anything special, but he went in there cold, got all the saves, made all the saves he was asked of him. He didn't do that in this last game, so that's it. For the call-up, I would be shocked if it's not Lindbaum. I don't think it'll be Weightman. I'd be shocked if it's not Lindbaum. Now, I do think it's possible that with the amount of time they have, maybe they look to potentially bring someone else in. I don't know. We'll see. Thanks again to Jimmerson Law Firm sponsoring all Periscopes this season. I don't expect to do one on Sunday or Saturday. We'll see about Tuesday. It's another Carolina game. I don't know. We'll have another one at some point. I don't know. Good night.